Is there one DM I could send that would make a girl interested in me, or one thing I could do that would get her attracted to me?
No, because everyone's an individual, but I would say, like, um, women love, like, a confident man, not a cocky man, but, like, a confident man, and one that shows that he, like, gives it about her other than, like, her looks. So, like, maybe commenting, like giving her a compliment on something that maybe, like, you like about her, like her personality or her mind, like, something else. That way she knows that you actually are invested. And I also think putting in the effort, right? So, like, taking her out on a date, like, showing some like, that you're in it and that you're not just, like, trying to get tail.
What about the DMs though? I feel like like, come on, like the DMs are tough to get a girl out of. Let's be real here.
It depends on how many followers she has, right? But, like, I would say you're better off, like, leaving a comment under a photo than a DM
What
because, like,
about replying to stories, or is that cheesy because you like a confident guy? You're saying,
mhm.
is it the easy way out replying to a story because you're just trying to get in the convo, but you really know deep down you just want the girl?
I think a story's not a bad idea because then you have, like, some context, right? Like, you
Yeah,
have
true.
something that you can, like, comment on that's other than, like, if you're like, "Oh my god, you're so hot," like, you know how many people
Yeah,
say
yeah,
that? Like,
yeah.
that's not interesting to me, you're not gonna get my attention. But if you're like, "I really like that you did this," or, "Oh, I saw you were reading this book. I love that book." Something like that, like, something that's, like, a little bit more, right? Or just try to if you're funny, like, if you're naturally funny, you can try and make a joke, but don't try to be a funny guy if you're not a funny guy because that's not gonna end well either.
Tacky. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this could be a girl who wrote this, which is really interesting because mostly guys write these because it sounds like a girl. I think someone I'm dating may be cheating on me or has multiple options. How can I win them back? We haven't been dating that long.
There's no winning them anyone back.
Are they dating? Are they exclusive? I don't even know. That's a weird
It
question.
sounds like they're not exclusive, like, they might just be in, like, the testing the waters
Yeah.
situation. Whether this applies to men or women, but if you feel like you're in a situation where you need to try to win somebody, you probably already lost them, and I think
Mhm.
you need to have the self-respect to just, like, walk away. So if they're giving you distance, like, you give them distance, right? Like, I don't believe in chasing people. I think if you're in an established relationship, if you're married, obviously, like, don't run away from your problems. But if you're in a new relationship, like, absolutely don't chase anyone. Don't try to make someone love you, right? So give what they're giving back.
Yes. And for like dating and relationship questions, what are you attracted to in a man, and how can a man be high value? I don't know if you can answer the question, but
Yeah, totally. So I think high value stuff that I guess like is more general that appeals to probably most people is um having like a sense of confidence, like that's very important. Having like your own ambitions, like your dreams,
mhm.
having drive, right? Like so being an interesting person, not being one dimensional. So like maybe you have like a hobby that's like hunting and you also like to work out and you're also like an avid reader. Like just try to be multidimensional. And then also just try to be like a good listener. I think like that sounds sappy to a lot of guys, but like women want something more. Like we don't just want like this hot dude or this funny dude. At the end of the day, we want someone that we know like when all of that fades away, we can still have a good conversation.
How can so basically this question, fan question, one of the last ones, they were saying so many girls like what they can't have or like someone who's hard to get, but how do you get on a radar of a girl?
Mm.
I
Hard
get I
to
guess I get it because they mean like you were talking about being confident, high value, etc. But at the same time, like you have to show that you're somewhat interested, but you
Mhm.
don't want to be too much like that's the only option, or like you know what I mean. I get what they mean.
Yeah, I think you get on the radar by, like, just being bold, right? And that's gonna show up differently for each person depending on their personality. Again, maybe one person, it's, like, some comedic line, and some other person, it's, like, a general interest into, like, what that person's other their interests are, right? Like, having a shared interest. Um, but I think you have to, like it's hard to just put into words, but you have to have that emotional intelligence, right? Like, you have to be able to read that
Yeah.
body language even if, like, you're not in person. So, like, read the vibes that you're getting from, like, how fast is she responding to you? Again, like, you don't wanna be sending, like, a an attack of blue bubbles, right? And then she's not responding. Like that tells me like back up, pause, wait a minute. But I think again, like you have to show that investment. So whether that's like, let me take you to dinner, let me cook you dinner, let's go do this activity, right? Like let's go do this yoga class, whatever it is, right? Like you have to put yourself out there and be vulnerable. So like suggest a date, like an actual date. I don't think a lot of people do that, right? With
No, they
dating
don't.
now. You gotta be creative then, right? Like, maybe, do, like, a drive-in movie in your driveway, and you can get, like, a little projector off of Amazon and, like, play it on, like, the garage door. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta find your John Cusack. It's in there somewhere. Find
That's
it.
so funny.